I hope everybody is doing super well out there. My name is Jesse J, a.k.a. the Cosmic Cowboy, and if this is your first time joining us, welcome to Slay Security Plus, proudly presented by Simply Cyber. We are the community-based initiative that brings you the industry's top study methods for your Security Plus, all about mentorship, building community, finding those job paths, and just kind of having fun while we're studying to slay our certifications, namely the Security Plus. If this is your very first time, or this is your very first time kind of to slay Security Plus, we've got a bunch of videos. Well, actually got two specific ones. One from last week when we announced our sponsorship with Jerry. And then there was one before that where I talked about exam strategy. I highly recommend you go check out those two videos. They're a little lengthy, but they tell you the method that we use in Slay Security Plus, talk about kind of where we started, where we're going, and where we're at now. And so that is what we do here, man. We study Security Plus, we build community, we build mentorship, and we have fun while we are doing it.
Are you feeling lost in the vast world of cybersecurity, overwhelmed by technical jargon and confusing career paths? You're not alone. That's why I built Simply Cyber. Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Ozier. Come join Simply Cyber, your supportive and inclusive community for navigating the exciting world of cyber. There's so much to take advantage of. Master the skills you need with Simply Cyber Academy, offering in-depth courses aligned with the GRC analyst role. Never feel isolated. Connect with fellow cyber enthusiasts and professionals in our thriving Discord server. Ask questions, get feedback, share your journey. Check out the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, delivering insightful interviews. What are your thoughts around, web app pen testing as entry level? And I included bug bounty here because that's very accessible to everybody. Practical skill demos and daily cyber threat briefs, all hosted by industry experts. There's so much more to discover. Are you ready to join the community and empower your future? Visit simplycyber.io/socials for all the links and start your cyber adventure today.
Because she's coming to me through Discord. We had an issue getting Streamlabs. Were you able to get Streamlabs or Restream downloaded, Space?
I got Restream downloaded.
Okay, we're going to do this. Because this stream is really important to me. Let's do this really quick. Stand with me, folks. We're going to make it happen one way or the other. That is what we do in cybersecurity. We just figure it out, right?
Ah, I froze on a big cheesy grin. Nice.
That's all right. You're grinning. We hear her. There it is. They said, we hear her. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I'm sitting here just smiling.
Really?
Really?
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Maybe someone hacked me.
We can hear. What about now? Is she unfrozen? Are we live? Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so we should be live right now, here in a moment. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. What a graceful community. We even had more viewers show up in spite of the technical difficulties.
Yay! Thank you.
Cool.
Hi.
Everybody, I had the pleasure of meeting Space Tacos. And for the record, do you like being called Space Tacos, or do you prefer to go by your professional name?
Tacos!
That's kind of... That's, or what?
Coach.
Okay, Coach. I met Coach about a year ago. I think it was either in the Professor Mester. I was studying for my Security Plus, and somebody told me about the Professor Mester Discord. This is before I found, this is like pretty early on. And I met, this is, I think, well before Simply Cyber. I met Space Tacos, and we absolutely hit it off right away. And she was one of the first people to point me to other resources or other study groups, or connect me or give me support, or say, hey, I'm Space Tacos and I'm here studying too. I'm navigating cybersecurity. And what Space Tacos did is added a bit of human element to this craziness that we call cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Space Tacos, take it from here. Tell us a little bit about your journey and some of the struggles and some of the wins you've had.
So just cybersecurity?
We're gonna open it up. I think we got a pretty good crowd that understands more than just cybersecurity. That's part of what we do, is that community building, the mentorship, relating with one another. We're a family at the end of the day. So tell us a little bit about from kind of where you were to kind of what brought you here on Slay Security Plus, sponsored by Simply Cyber, the morning threat brief. Like, why are you Space Tacos?
Okay. So the quick and dirty version is I was a teacher and a coach for 20 years. That included the state of Texas, the state of Colorado, Germany, and South Korea. I then destroyed one of my legs, came back to America, and spent the next 8-ish years working towards medical coding. I was a medical coder for about 5 years. While I took my classes for my medical coding degree, I took a required computer science class that woke up my little inner computer nerd that I didn't know was there, and started looking for ways to make money and a different career playing in computers. So long story short is I signed up for one of those really crappy boot camps, but I didn't get into it to make the money fast. The guys looked like they were really fun to learn from. And it ended up being horrible. Lawsuit, won, and from there pivoted to cybersecurity. The study group that we formed in that boot camp, we're still together. We're just friends now. But in that group is where I developed the handle Space Tacos. I have no idea. I can't remember the story, but that's where it came from, in that study group for JavaScript, full stack JavaScript development. Pivoted to cybersecurity, walked in the door of cybersecurity, had no idea what, because I've said it before, it's like a tsunami of information, overwhelming, head blown right off my shoulders, and spent literally until today. And I've had now a cybersecurity job for roughly 6 months. Until today, kind of working my way through all the data that I found. So heard about Messer, joined his study groups, joined his Discord, frolicked around in there for a while, quite a while, came across Jesse Johnson, who all I could tell is as a teacher, game recognizes game, like Jerry likes to say in the morning. Game recognizes game, because when Jesse would lead our study groups, he did a phenomenal job. And I mean that from the depth of my soul. The energy, the care, the love and joy he put through the Discord voice channel was insane. It was absolutely insane. So we became friends, which was fantastic. And then I'm an old lady. I'll be 51 or 151 this month. And I personally didn't want to do help desk. And it is the way, as you know, they say, but I didn't want to. That wasn't what I saw for myself. So being a teacher and being the administrative, the checking grades and doing all the things that I've done in my life, I heard someone, Neil Bridges, say it first: IT auditors, garbage jobs. What? Why would you call it a garbage job? Let's look into this. First name I came across was Gerald Ozier. The GRC Definitive Masterclass. What is this? Who is this guy? Found out who he was. Way too much energy in the morning, but I got very used to it. Love it now. What else? Just a lot of research of what is GRC, and it actually turned out to be the thing for me. So that turned into getting on with Derek Scheller Jr., who does a show. I've done a couple interviews with him. He's done a lot of GRC based interviews, learned about it. What's a framework? All the things. And the thing I found was the most frustrating was all of the resources and all the information is scattered, and I had to go to so many places to do the Discord channel, which is the treasure trove. And it is literally everything I could find GRC related in one spot. Works like a library, repository, whatever you want to call it. People come in, find what they need, take off. And then thanks to his course, Jerry Ozier, auditing job, I will now start my cybersecurity audit next week.
Let's go.
Now I'm here talking to you guys.
Let's go.
I don't know what else to say.
It's the story that makes you. It's about the journey, not the destination. Truly, though, and I think that is what attracted me to Simply Cyber, Black Hills, TCM, those crews, Professor Messer, but just this care about the education and bringing people along with you and saying, hey, it's all about this journey. Don't focus on the endpoint. Don't focus on, see what I did there? Don't focus on this big cybersecurity pizza pie in the sky. You're going to get there. enjoy the ham sandwiches on the way, enjoy the garbage jobs on the way, but it's a journey. And I think that you tell that journey so well, like saying, I did the stuff. I found what I found. I did the stuff and I'm here.
And I'll be honest, the story of how I got the job, it literally reads like an infomercial. For just $29.99, you too can be a GRC specialist. And mine actually happened in a month.
Really?
So
are you going to talk?
Jerry put the course on sale last Memorial Day, and I got it at a bargain. I paid like literal pennies for it. Would have happily paid 4 times as much. Started the course in the first week of June and finished it that first week. The second week, all the applications, just blanketed the neighborhood with all the applications, all the resumes. The end of the third week, I was invited for an interview. The fourth week was my interview. And no. The end of the second week, I got the invite. End of the third week, I had the interview. The Thursday of the fourth week, I got the job. So that's fine print. These results are atypical. I mean, it could work for you too, but that's literally what happened. So thanks, Jerry.
Right? No, but I mean, that empowering, and again, I'm not just saying this because we're now sponsored or whatever. I've felt this way. Everybody knows it pretty much from day one. The empowerment that Jerry, John Strand, like just the TCM crew, just like this empowerment of like, here, this is for you and run with it. And I feel like you took it and like, I don't know, I've seen you now like all over Instagram, your name pops up and from everybody like Jerry, you start to rent space in the industry in people's minds, and it's like space tacos. And even if 6 months ago, a year ago, they're like, who's that? Same thing like Jesse Johnson, who's that? They get to see, you get used to seeing the little space taco emoji and something positive or uplifting or whatever. I'm telling you, it works.
That's what's up.
We got a couple people in chat that you might be familiar with. Words are hard. Matthew Pelkey in chat. How are you? Welcome. Sean Washington. Hi.
What's up, bro?
What? Dude,
what's up. Sunshine Gummy.
I haven't seen him in a minute. In fact, I was just creeping on your profile to make sure everything was well. I was going to reach out to you. Like, nah, I've already reached out to him. I don't want to blow him up. I'm always asking him how he's doing. It's good to see you in chat, man. Really is. That's another cool story. We should get him on Slay Security Plus too. Yes. Talk about his journey.
You should.
Cool. It's good to see you. Justin Gold. We see some mods. Jim Lund. Welcome to this evening's edition. It's good to see you.
Hi.
Got DJ BSEC bringing in the heat, busting my chops on every forum that he can think of, because that's iron sharpens iron. Like, you want to work with a boss that is willing to bust your chops, because you don't get any better unless somebody is busting your chops a little bit.
That's very true. I caught DJ BSEC's live musical story time the other night. Dude.
Was it good?
Oh, that was so... I couldn't stay for long. I stayed for like maybe 5 minutes because I was in the middle of something. But, oh, man. The next time you roll with one of those and I'm going to clear my schedule. Please let me know.
Did you hear that, BSEC?
I'm subscribed to the channel. I will find out.
Tell us too when you do that Slay Security Plus, because I'll tell the people that I know on the various means. And I have a lot of music friends that like computers and music stuff. So you should tell us, and we'll spread that word. I'm gonna look through chat and see if there's any questions for a second. Somebody was wondering about who asked me this. That's why we need I'm gonna have some moderators. We're building this sucker up, man. From the ground.
I just saw that chat over there on my phone.
Is Kimberly Can't Fix It still in chat? She was here with us there for a little bit. Dinner time. Yes. Bye. Dinner time. See you later, Dr. Rozier.
Hi, Dr. Rozier. Happy dinnering. That's not a word.
Okay, we'll get this chat figured out here in a second. I do have some questions for you. And I haven't asked you these before. So if you're like, oh gosh, that's a weird question. No, these are just pretty straightforward. These are pretty straightforward questions I think I would have liked to have known. And you hear these asked a lot to cybersecurity professionals, but I like to ask them at people not only once they've got there in the industry, but where you're at the beginning of your journey, safe to say. You're not still on the outside trying to like get anything, you've got a job, you've kind of got some vision going for you. What
I do.
Give us 3 little tips to somebody who is coming into cyber, maybe battling some imposter syndrome, maybe not knowing, maybe thinking that they have to be a blue team or red team or something like that. And then the third thing would be, how did you balance study burnout? Because I remember there was a few times where you're like, Jesse, love what you're doing. I'm going to pop off for a little bit. I'm starting to feel the...
I'm going to answer the last one first. The how do I battle the burnout, which that should be a thing, battle the burnout. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, I have a couple of chronic illnesses. I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is systemic. I have osteoarthritis in my knee. Any and everybody can get just overuse. So I have both versions. I also battle chronic fatigue syndrome, and I just got a new diagnosis that I'm still learning about, but it's pulmonary hypertension, which also causes fatigue. So I go through phases of where I'm gung-ho, or at least my brain is, but my body's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything right now. Lay down.
Not today, sweetheart.
Not today, sweetheart. So I have to actually stop myself, or my body will stop me for me, I guess is how to say that. So I have to be very cognizant of my level of gung-ho and how hard I go when it comes to the study wagon. The late night sessions that I used to burn through like butter, I can't do those anymore.
Till like 3 a.m, and then we'd wake up and get after it on the Professor Messer again. Gosh, that was crazy.
Those are great. And the thing I've noticed is I've had this illness, I've had rheumatoid now for at least 11 or 12, maybe 13 years now. It's actually, I used to be able to do a lot more than I've been recent. My functionality has reduced greatly over this last couple of years. So I used to be able to do the all nights, easy, no problem, piece of cake, chocolate cake, but not anymore. So I have to really monitor that, and I have to find alternate ways. So like if there's a day where my director calls a meeting during the live stream in the morning that we all go to, then if I'm not able to physically study, because I don't know about anyone else, when I'm sick and I don't feel good, trying to study and learn something doesn't work really well for me. If I passively just listen to it and hear it and try to absorb by osmosis is much better. So I'll put on the team replay of the episode I might have missed, or I'll put on the team replay of one of the interviews that Jerry has done, or Black Hill's course that they do their 12 o'clock that I can't go to anymore because I'm at work all day now and have to lay down, waiting for the pain to pass, but I can try to listen to something that's cybersecurity related. So that's kind of how I battle all of that. I have to do a really active job of balancing how hard I go and how much I rest, and then how hard I study, and then how much I just have to be really almost like an alcoholic where every day you have to make and I'm just now having to be that disciplined. I haven't had to do that before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before it was a lot easier. I could do a lot more, but I've lost a lot of functionality. I've lost a lot of functionality, like I said, over the last couple of years. So it's been a lot more difficult. So the 3 tips, is that what you asked me?
Yeah. Battling burnout, imposter syndrome, and then like kind of how tips for somebody who similarly is walking that path from coach or from teacher into GRC specifically. So not like, how did you break into cyber? I think that question is like, well, what do you mean break into cyber? At what level do you break in? But talk to us about like, hey, like your journey into GRC.
Okay. And for the record, the chronic illness that I named, the memory thing is another one. So he'll tell me and I will literally 3 seconds later, like a gnat with no memory. Huh? What was that?
Like Dory.
Hey, literally, I now have Dory brain. My poor director is like, but you just took notes. I'm like, yeah, but I forgot that other thing. So the tips to getting into GRC, or how I got into GRC, I did a lot of research. So the first thing I heard was Garbage Jobs from Neil Bridges, talking to, was it David Bombal? How do you say his last name? That guy who's really good. I heard him say that first. And then I found Jerry and his course. And then I found the cyber warrior, who's Derek Scheller Jr. He's on LinkedIn. And he had done a lot of interviews with GRC people. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what we're talking about. Say more words. And I literally just spent a lot of time, researching and learning what it was. It's like policy, man, that's boring. I don't want to write, which is funny because I really like writing. But anyway, I just found a lot of people that were talking about it. And then I would pick up on keywords like, what is a framework? I don't know. NIST, what's a NIST? Who's NIST? Who's this person NIST? I had no idea. And learning about all those different things. And, at some point it put me towards Security Plus and the A Plus and the Net Plus and all these other things. But I just tried to find as much information on GRC and how to write policies and what are the frameworks and how many are there, and are there different iterations, or is it just one and it's like forever, for all time? So I had to do just a lot of research. And another bonus of my illnesses is I'm quite the insomniac. So I'm a natural night owl. So nighttime is really great for me, but my illnesses keep me awake sometimes, a lot of times. So I just would spend all night researching. I'm just on Google, just trying to figure out everything. So that's kind of how my GRC went. And then the more I listened to Jerry in the morning, I would, try to figure out some of these things I had been learning from Professor Messer. Oh, I recognize that word. I recognize that phrase. Things will start to fall into place. And then I would keep looking into GRC. What does this mean? What's the policy? What's this thing? What is that over there? I spent a lot of time saying, what is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that? What are you talking about? So I just like finding my way through the weeds, literally, is what that was. That's why I made the treasure trove, so it wouldn't be that hard. So
I got you.
Yeah. And then that month, the magical month, last June. So that's that. And then the brain. What was the last one?
The last one was the classic, how do you space tacos? Because we all struggle with it, no matter who you are in the industry. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? I don't belong here. These other guys know more than me. They're going to get the job before I do. I shouldn't even apply. All the stuff that we tell ourselves.
I feel it. I felt it. I still feel it. There's a few things I'll say to that. I'm an imposter. I shouldn't be here. I don't belong here. Other people are better than me. There's always going to be someone better than you at something. And there's always going to be someone who you are better than they are at something. So that kind of, in my mind, to me, puts everyone kind of on an equal playing field. And, may the better man win. May the better woman win, because I'm not a guy. So that's that, for me, at least. You might not agree, and that's okay. As far as going to get a job, there's an element of I need to believe in myself, and I need to have faith in the skills that I know I have. And I need to know that I can do this. And if I want something that I know I can mostly do, but might not be able to do all of it, for me personally, that's when I hit whatever books I can find. I need to go learn all the things. So if it's like for this job that I have, I was a teacher, and I took my teacher grading skills and put that with the auditor skills, because that aligns really well. However, the thing I was not prepared for is I didn't know that my Excel spreadsheet skills needed to be at a level that is required to do this job well. My Excel skills here, and they needed to be about here, maybe a little higher. I didn't know that. And so enter YouTube University. I needed to learn all the things, because I'm like, I don't know how to analyze this. I can put it in the spreadsheet. It looks really pretty. I picked all the colors. However, I couldn't run analysis because that's not a teacher, PE teacher. I didn't do that. I'm on a court with a ball or picking kids and chucking them in a pool. So I had to learn how to do that. So as far as imposter syndrome, one is I would say don't shoot yourself in the foot by not believing in yourself in the first place. If you literally don't have the skills yet, then maybe pause, get the skills. I don't know. I mean, people are going to tell you all kinds of ways to do this, but I mean, I wouldn't apply for a job that I can't do in the first place. I mean, unless they're giving away jobs, which that's awesome. I'd rather them just give me money. But anyway, so I wouldn't talk myself out of it. Especially if I know if I can do it, there's no way you're talking me out of it. I'm not going to talk me out of the job. I'm going to make them talk me out of the job. So, hey, I got this. I can do all of these things you just said. I can do that. And the worst thing they can say is, no, get out of here because we want that guy over there. That's fine.
Then it's a personal issue. It's not a knowledge or a competency issue.
Exactly. Yep. I'm not going to pull myself out of the running for it just because I don't think I'm good enough. I'm going to make them tell me I'm not good enough according to their standards.
Yep.
If I see that I can do all the things or most of the things, I'm applying for that job.
There's a few things. First of all, thank you for sharing that. There's some things that resonate with your journey that I've seen in other people's journey. And I'm leaving myself completely out of this equation, but I see something very, very specific. A is the desire to learn, a hunger. Yes. Like, I remember back in the day, you still are, but we were so hungry to learn this stuff holistically, not just red team, blue team, GRC. We were like holistically learning cyber.
All the things.
You were always one of the first to ask questions, even if you thought what somebody might consider a dumb question. In this industry, there are no dumb questions. You ask. You either fake it till you make it or you ask questions. You would ask questions, but getting to like that point where you started networking with Mr. Dr. Cyber Guy. I don't remember. Daryl?
Who?
The cyber, your mentor. Your mentor. Daryl, was that his name?
Dax?
No, Dax is awesome too. No, the guy that you said that you're still friends with from the boot camp, cyber, gave you space tacos.
Oh, my twin.
Yeah, your twin.
Twin. Hi, twin. His name is Rhoda.
Rhoda. So you found some.
Blast.
You found some mentorship. You found a network, and then this is the key part: is like you didn't let imposter syndrome stop you, and you just started going for it. You found the things that you could do, and the minute you found that you could do these things, you started applying relentlessly. And if you didn't know it, you researched it and found it out. Evan Ottinger from TCM made a really good post yesterday talking about how I see a lot of people asking really Googleable things, or they're coming to their bosses saying, hey, can you give me some training on this? I need to figure out, or even before they apply to a job, they may look at some skills or tools that are required, and they don't take the gusto to do the research on their own, because hiring managers want problem solvers. They don't, bosses want problem solvers. They don't want somebody who's going to go, I don't know how to solve this problem. Hey boss, can you give me resources to solve the problem? No, you are the resource they hired. Figure it out. And it's that grit, man.
Amen. And that's what I remember. This was the other part of my answer is you need to be willing to put in the hustle. You have to put in the hustle. That's nothing. No one's going to give it to you, because when you think about it, I know they're laying off people right now. However, when you're applying for jobs, you're in a bit of a battle with people trying to get that job. And how do you want to distinguish yourself? You need to hustle somehow. Make yourself stand out. I have the online portfolio. I have the GitHub repository. I have the fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of people I hear ask this question, Eric Taylor was I heard the most recent who said this. If I see the passion and the drive, which is what I call a hustle, if I see a person with passion, I'm going to hire that person. I can teach them how to do anything because I can see the passion, and they're going to go out and hit the books and hit the YouTube University and hit the fill in the blank, and they're going to go figure it out. And to your point about the asking Googleable questions, I love how that is. By the way, if you're bored, say that 5 times fast.
Googleable.
You're absolutely right. Bosses don't want, I don't know how to do. You need to get off of your and get on something and say, Hey, what is this? How can I learn it? Are there more keywords? Is there an offshoot tangent this way I need
This.
to go? Is there
Yep.
an offshoot tangent this way I need? You need to do a little bit of hustle on your own and learn the things, because when you come empty handed, that doesn't really make bosses happy. You need to say, hey, so I've hit a wall. And I've heard Derek Scheller talk about this. He says, I have a buddy. We would never, I think they worked purpley together. Like he was the red and this other person was the blue, or whatever he said. I can't remember the story. But the point is, he would research his brains out until he was beating his head against brick walls, almost literally. And he would ask the guy, and they had a pact to tell each other the answer ever. But they would give each other hints. Hey, have you checked this? And that's all they would say. And they would give like 2 or 3 words, and it would point you in the right direction, but you have done that legwork beforehand. So it's not, because basically when you come to me, hey, can you tell me about this? Because the first thing I'm thinking is, well, what do you?
Right.
It's kind of like people say when you want to get into cybersecurity, okay, well, have you even looked into it? Okay, so here's what you need to do. Go look at things, and then you come back when you know what you want to do. And then I'll help you, I'll point you in the right direction so you can figure it out. But you need to do that first.
It's tough love. But I think as inclusive as our industry is, you're hitting on a point that's really important, is that tough love part that I think cybersecurity has become, from my limited experience, but my years of seeing other industries get trivialized. Because it's now this flashy, sexy industry, we are totally trivializing cybersecurity to where people are coming in thinking, oh, I literally don't have to know. I can be completely clueless and just get in and then be frustrated and post hateful messages when they don't get hired. That's not the reality of any industry, let alone cybersecurity.
I wonder if that's why we're having a mess.
I can't speak into that, but I think you're just onto that. Do your research. And anecdotally, to me, when I came to Jerry with Slay Security Plus ideas, he said, okay, let's meet. I got 30 minutes. Like, I'm driving the kids to wherever. I got 30 minutes to meet. The meetings where I came to him with proposals, like, what if we did X, Y, and Z? What are some of the limitations of doing X, Y, and Z? What do you think? Yeah. He'd say, man, I've got limited time. We're in this, but I want you to figure out the answers and come to me with solutions, not more questions, because I already have a ton of questions that I have to sort out for Simply Cyber. I said, yes, sir. So I reached out to Josh Mason. I reached out to BSEC. I reached out to Justin Gold. Anybody in our community, I said, hey, I'm looking at doing this. What are some tips? What are some things? And then come back to Jerry and say, hey, this is the plan. Now what?
Hashtag networking.
Hashtag working with your people.
Yeah, no, you do absolutely, because people I don't know what it is, but you still have to learn. I looked out and I got like a ground level entry. Literally, you need to know nothing for this job. You need to be able to do these things, but you need 0 years of experience as an auditor. I lucked out and got that job. I'm literally learning auditing on the job, applying the skills that I'm bringing from my other years in professional land. But I still need to try and, other than learning how to say professionally and say something in audit professional, it's 2 different things. That's probably right now my personal biggest struggle. Aside from that, my Excel spreadsheet skills, that's on me. Mm-hmm. I've learned to spend quality time with Layla Garani. Love this woman. And any other Excel teacher out there. I had to spend time on the weekends at night when I came home after work learning how to do pivot tables and learning how to do this kind of analysis and these shortcuts and all this kind of things. And I'm still not quite where I need to be, where I want to be. I'm where I need to be so I can get it done. But I know there's so much more I can do. So, but that's on me to learn. They're not going to teach me.
No, and that's the thing, and you're doing it. I remember when I would be studying, very similar concept. If I was doing a try hack me, and I maybe got the answer right, but it said something within the operating system that I didn't understand, I would Google it, and then I would play with it on my own operating system. I'd go, oh, that's what are these services do? And if I had to go in as admin and open up the services and then read what they did, I would figure out what an operating system does, because I didn't want to get put into a position where I'm like, oh, I can capture flags like nobody's business, but I'm really not 100% sure what's going on under the hood. I didn't want to be caught with my pants down like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And I still have quite a few other things to learn. Like I've had a few people from Professor Rogers' Discord asking me about frameworks, and I'm like, I don't know that one yet, because I don't have any frameworks committed to memory. But just because the job I currently have doesn't work directly with frameworks in that way, we work kind of a roundabout different way. It's really weird to explain, but that's something else that I need to put that's on me. I need to learn this. I need to learn ISO. I need to learn. That's me. I need to learn it.
No, and you said it. There's people that will, and I don't know. There's so many people in our industry that are going to give you the directions and the resources and help you come along, but nobody's going to do it for you at the end of the day. Like, it's going to be on you to get up early, stay up late, to make the sacrifices, to maybe not pay for coffees this month so that you can afford the Pocket Prep app, right? So that, like, or maybe you cancel some services so you can get a textbook, or maybe you really want that PNPT or whatever your certification is, and you're like, I can't afford it. I can't. For every can't, I promise there's about 5 or 6 cans. There's a reason why you actually can get it done. The mind plays those fickle mistress games with us. The mind does not like to be uncomfortable, right? The mind wants to be happy in its little hard case full of, right? It doesn't want to be pushed and stretched. It's up to us to make that happen, Space. I love this talk.
How dare you sacrifice the coffee?
Well, what? You got to get store brand? Never.
Look, from a coffee snob, I am currently drinking instant.
Right.
Which is not that's not usual. But I did find a good one. So.
Sacrifices. Like making those sacrifices for, really, at the end of the day, one of the things, and I think you see this, Space Tacos, more than some, is the long game of cybersecurity. The focus is not, I hope I get hired tomorrow. The focus is no, I actually want to take my time and work with a company that's going to empower me to be the best pen tester, best differ, best GRC analyst, right? The best teacher, whatever that is. And I get the rush. I know we got to put bacon on the table. And I said this in multiple streams. Get what you got to get, do what you have to do, and be confident in yourself. Like, go out there, get those jobs. If you got 1 or 2 of the things on the job requirements, go for it, man. Doctor up that resume with things that you can actually do. And you would be surprised, and I learned this from John Hatch. You would be amazed how many non-cyber things that you've done in your life that with a little help from ChatGPT can be applied to cyber like nobody's business and can get a hiring manager's head turned. Like, what? You did that all on your own? Looking for self-starters, problem solvers. Eric Taylor said it best. We can teach anybody the tools. Anybody with half a brain can learn to use Nmap. Anybody can learn the tool sets. I promise. They're not difficult. You learn them. Can't teach passion. You cannot teach compassion. You can't teach drive. You can't teach being coachable. Can you make a mistake and be okay with that? Can you, better yet, learn from that mistake? Those are when I think soft skills, it's not just like the make eye contact. Yes, sir. No, sir. No, man. Are you coachable? Can you give direction? Can you say, oh, boss is gone and I see 3 people that aren't? Can you help manage your teams?
I was going to say, can you give constructive criticism without tearing that person down to the point where they're like, man, I don't want to be here. So that's, learning how to talk to people. But you triggered a thought, because you and I have had a few discussions about in study groups in Professor Messer land of, yes, I want to learn this. Yes, I want to pass this certification exam. Yes, I want a cybersecurity job. But we would focus more on, I want to be good at my job once I get one. So yes, I want to do all these things. And yes, most people, because I don't have mine yet, but yes, most people want to get cranked out in 3 to 4, 5-ish months. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. But I learn differently. I don't learn, I prefer to learn differently. I can make the time. I'm the one where I want to learn this well, not just to know it for the exam. I want to put it in practice at my job every day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to employ this in these skills and these tactics and these mindsets so I can put them to work where they need to be used. So that's, like you said, about looking at the long game. I think I want to be good at my job. I don't just want the pretty piece of paper that says, hey, I'm Security Plus now. That's not me. I want to be really good at Security Plus now. The paper says I've got the basic skills, but now I really know. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
But that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. And I think Evan Kirstein made a good point. He said, study to understand, don't study to memorize.
Yes. And that's where all the questions come in.
Somebody hit me up and they said, hey, these Professor Messer, you only get 3 exams. I'm going to memorize all the answers. I'm like, you probably will. You're going to memorize all the questions and you're going to memorize the answers, but it's about memorizing those concepts, baby.
I've as many sessions as I went to, I did start to memorize. I was like, oh, wait, this is the one that talks. Yeah, this is the one that talks about that. That one's C. Yeah. They're almost all C. But that's, I got to that point and it wasn't on purpose, but I would try to go to the answers I do the thing where I go to the answers first and read the wrong answers so I can learn why they're wrong. So, because that was a huge thing that I learned how to do from Dax and everybody else. So I do like to do that.
And that worked for you. There's no, I don't know, there's no wrong or right way, but I would say pick a way and stay consistent. Like pick something that does work for you and take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank, baby.
Space tacos. I hear the kiddos in the background of my house starting to get antsy. But before we go, 2 things. What are you up to? What has Space Tacos got cooking in your cyber life, in your professional stuff? Where are you headed? And number 2, the last one, what would you tell somebody who, like I see a few people in chat, they're like, I've never been here before, brand spanking new, thank you for this information. What would you tell that person that's like, I don't even know where to start?
Oh, dear God. I'll answer the second one first because it's kind of fun. If you are brand new, if you have no idea, that's what you need to do is you need to get an idea. So I would not scratch my face. I would find resources. Mine are all GRC based. I would find resources that talk about in a very high, what is cybersecurity all about? So
GRC, I'm going to pause. GRC, I think, is a phenomenal place. If you have no idea what cybersecurity is, GRC is a phenomenal place to start because then you have an idea of like what's going on, like what the heck is going on.
You do. There's actually, there's a nice lady somewhere in LinkedIn land who did what I consider a fantastic video that explains like the basic 3 the basic 3 branches, GRC, Team Red, Team Blue. And if you hit me up in either the Slay Security or Simply Cyber Discord, I am happy to share that video because I think it's fantastic. It made cybersecurity make a lot more sense in my head. But if you don't know what you want to do, I've been studying what cybersecurity is, what GRC is for the past year and change. I am just now I've just now said, I want to do that. That sounds interesting. That I'm just now getting there. Because before it's like, maybe not. I've been doing a lot of that. It's like, well, So I've just now landed on something that I think I might want to pursue, and I think I might be changing my mind again. So learn what the basic overview is. Learn what GRC is. Learn what being on the red team is, because that's a great way just to describe that side of the planet. And then learn what being on the blue team is. That's a great way to describe that side of the planet. Those are the 3 biggest versions of cybersecurity. Figure out what those are, see which ones make you the happiest. And I would say keep digging and keep learning what they all are. Find some job titles in each of those 3 sections and read the description and well, does that sound like me? Does that sound like something? You know, that's like the hardest part is figuring out where to go, what to do, what to look at, it's welcome to your learning journey. Is you're going to have to start learning, and you're going to have to learn what the red team. Hit me up in the Discord. I'm happy to point you in the right direction if I can, but you're going to have to start looking and learning, because what makes me happy is not necessarily going to be the same thing that makes you happy, and it's not necessarily the same thing that's going to make Jesse happy. So that's why no one can tell you, oh, you need to go red team. You have to go red team first. That's why no one can tell you that. You have to figure it out for yourself, because what makes your heart burn is not necessarily going to be the same that makes my heart burn. You might not love OSINT as much as I do, but I also might not love pen testing as much as you do. So I would say if you're brand new, start learning what all the parts are, what in general, and then start whittling it down and trying to learn that, if that made any sense.
That made a ton of sense. Like, seriously, that's get in, find yourself orientated, get your OODA loop set up, observe, orient, decide, and act, right? So we observe, we orient ourselves, we go red team, blue team, GRC. Okay, blue team, defense. That's all I need to know right now. Red team. Oh, the hackers. Okay, I need to know that right now. GRC. Okay, the policy, the thing that keeps the hackers and the defenders playing nicely, and we get to figure out what we're securing and what we're attacking. Oh, GRC. Okay, cool. Compliance. Then we can start to figure out where to go from there and stay focused. Space Tacos, what are you working on? Like you said, you're learning Excel. What are you learning right now? What are you working on? It can be small. It could be something like I'm relearning how to type, or big. What are you learning to better yourself in your profession?
Well, if you've been in touch with any cybersecurity, anyone ever, you'll hear at some point, document your journey. So part of me is blog. I have a YouTube channel. I have my own portfolio website. And I'm trying to consistently blog within the parameters of me being chronically ill, because it doesn't always happen. So I try to post on Sundays what I've done the previous week. Right now I ran through Professor Messer's A+, because I'm not a baby tech nerd. I don't have the history of, I grew up being, that was not me. So I went through the A+. I am working through the Net Plus now, and it's nice because you can't see it because it's behind you, but that's okay. I have on my list of skills that I need to learn: networking, PowerShell, Linux, Python, digital forensics, OSINT, threat hunting, Active Directory. Those are the big things I need to learn. Sec Plus is on my list. The CISA for auditing is on my list that I want to get done. I also need to get certified, or at least learn. I'm not sure if I need to do, well, definitely Azure.
Why not? Azure, why not? Bless you.
Me and my twin have a joke of we never, but I need to get into some cloud work. I need to get into some AI work. But like I said, teacher, 20 years, health and PE. That's what I taught. And I coach almost every sport known to man. And then medical coder. So I know all the medicine, I know all the bones, the body parts, and the illnesses. And I don't have IT flowing through my veins like people like DJ Bisek, who's been an IT guy since
Nam.
So I need to learn those. Oh, but it's need the A+. I need the A+, because I didn't grow up with the A+. I need to learn the fundamentals. I'm huge on fundamentals.
But you only need the A+ knowledge. You don't need the certification at this point.
Exactly. No. I don't want the cert. I need the knowledge. So I'm rolling through those videos to make sure I understand And then next up, my very next course, I think, is going to be my Linux. I'm on the fence between Linux and PowerShell.
BSEC, I know you're still in chat. If you had to tell Space Talk, if she said, I really want to learn a scripting language, would you have her start with some bash scripting, or would you start Linux, Unix bash scripting, or would you have her start with PowerShell command line stuff? Where would you, or learn a little bit of both? Play around with a little of each of them. And here's the beauty. And one of the things, Space Tacos, with the PowerShell and the bash scripting is there are so many cheat sheets available. I got a Vim cheat sheet right now pulled up in front of me because I thought Vim was cool and I realized that it's hard. But there's cheat sheets and I love them. I live by cheat sheets.
So that's
cool.
Probably close next, but I think I'm building the journey, because with my newfound limitations that are more constrictive than before, like you said, I'm having to learn how to pace myself. So I'm really trying to get really good at documenting. And I think my YouTube it started as this thing, and I think I'm switching it to more cybersecurity documentation. This is what I'm doing, so you can see, or at least me talk about it or something. I don't know. Maybe teaching, I doubt it, but that's kind of what I do. I'm a teacher.
Right. You're a coach. You're a mentor. Let's just be real. Let's be honest.
What I teach you, and I'm really good when I was a coach, my favorite sport to coach was volleyball. And anytime I did a summer camp, I always got the babies and loved it, because one is they're hilarious and cute and tiny, but it's because I was the best coach at fundamentaling. That's not a real word.
It is tonight. It's a Space Tacos fundamentaling.
So my big, huge thing is you build the solid foundation. You learn the basics. That's why right now I'm getting myself through A+ Network Plus.
Beautiful.
And all those things. You build the foundation, and then you go from there and see what kind of you can build. So,
do you consider yourself a mentor?
No.
Can I tell you something?
I consider myself air traffic control.
Can I tell you something?
Just go,
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
You mentor me.
What?
Since after those first couple of weeks of watching your how you carry yourself, how you help people, your grit, your determination, you and I have shared kind of your journey, and you 100% are a mentor to me. And if you don't consider yourself a mentor, that's on you, but I consider you one.
I think of more air traffic control. I point you in the right direction to go do things.
Whatever you want to call it. Space Tacos, you're a gem.
Well, thank you very much, Jesse.
You're welcome.
You are as well, because it's amazing what you're doing for the community.
Like we talked about it before. It's a we thing. We won't go there. I'm not gonna make it a virtue signaling thing, but truly, it's a collaboration. The Slay Security Plus has become part of like my family's identity. I live for Thursday nights and prepping for it and hanging out with all of you guys. I'm not gonna go to a full screen. Normally, I would zoom out after a guest, but Space Tacos, thank you for being with us tonight on Slay Security Plus, and everybody else that's in chat. Thanks for hanging out for the hour and a half. Thank you for being oh so gracious during the technical difficulties. We're getting it figured out, and it's only going to get smoother, more refined, and things are just going to click better from here. So thank you for having grace and patience with us while I'm figuring it out. That's all I got, Space Tacos. Do you have anything for me?
Love what you're doing. Love you. And I am so grateful that we crossed paths.
Likewise. Big time. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen in chat, find Space Tacos. Space Tacos, will you pronounce your full name for everybody so they can find you on LinkedIn? Because they're not going to find you finding Space Tacos.
I am not Space Tacos on LinkedIn. If I hit you up for a connect, I will say that I am Space Tacos. My name is Adrienne Harris, and I will actually type it in the chat.
Will you drop it in chat, please? You're welcome, Valentino Christopher Whitlock, a lot of the regulars. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a blast as always. Next week will be a full Domain 2 review between either, I think Cyber Hamburger will start it on Monday, and then I'll continue and take off from the rest of it on Thursday before we wrap up into Domain 3. Let's see, Zach Hill is coming up on the show. Jerry and Tyler are also in the works to be scheduled. They reached out to me regarding their scheduling spots. But the next special guest is Zach Hill in a couple weeks, talking about his journey into cyber. Very similar. You know, what's funny is Space Tacos, in a lot of ways, you remind me of Zach Hill. I mean, you may not know why yet, but there's certain things that how much you care for others. You're just a lot of things reminds me of Zach in a good way. So I hope you guys come back for that one.
Is Zach a little bit crazy? Because
I think to be in cyber in information security, you can't have all the marbles. There's no possible way that you can have all your marbles and work in this industry.
I think you're right. I put my LinkedIn in the chat as well.
Beautiful. Find her on LinkedIn. Space Tacos. I feel like I need to look. I'm still getting used to looking at just the camera. It's awesome having you. You're a genuine person, and I look forward to having you on for more of these.
Yay! Thanks for having me. I can come talk silliness and shenanigans.
Let's do it. As I always say, LFG. All right, folks. It's been a great stream. Technical difficulties aside, I'm going to go back through, clean that up, trim it, and then we're going to repost this video because this conversation from Space Tacos, I want more people out there to hear it. I'll see you in the morning for Jerry's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. And then, I'm going to start, as I'm prepping for resume and resume seasons coming upon the Johnson household, I'm getting ready to go big or go home. I am going to do Slay Security Plus After Dark Hacked Edition, and we're going to walk through Anti-Siphon Cyber Range. Got the okay from Zach Hill and that crew, which I don't think you necessarily need an okay, but I always like to ask. And they said, yeah, man, go for it. So we're going to start navigating cyber ranges Thursday night. It's going to basically be me documenting my just learning process doing these cyber ranges, but I'm going to invite all of you to come along. They will be the Anti-Siphon brand, which I feel like I get to learn. It's not just a challenge, but there's some lessons involved. So I'm really excited to start doing those. Anyway, okay, I'm getting long-winded as usual. Space Tacos, it's good to see you. Everybody, I'm Jesse J. You guys are chat. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And